Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another episode of my crochet. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily, if you don't already know that, or if you're ever confused, because my channel name is Susie Stitches. Anyways, I'm Emily, and welcome to another episode of my crochet in chat series. This is my third time trying to say that. I'm not redoing it. For some reason I can't speak today. But this episode is not going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be a little bit different, because I feel like these can be whatever the heck I want them to be. And I'm not trying to make this episode negative, but I feel like lately I've just been feeling like I'm in a little bit of a funk. So I just want to talk about how I've been feeling lately and things like that while we do something fun, which is crocheting. I'm working on this really fun fidget. This is the first time I've ever crocheted with this specific color of this yarn, and I think it's called Crayon Box, but it's almost like a rainbow. It's got a bunch of different colors in it, and it's working up really pretty, and I like it. So we're gonna work on this while we chat a little bit. I have my hair in braids right now because it's a Sunday night, and I want to put this braid here, but then it's gonna touch my microphone, so you just get one braid, I guess. My brain feels scrambled right now. I'm gonna go grab my bobby pillow really quick so that I'm a little bit more comfortable before we get to chatting. This is literally the best idea ever. I don't even remember who gave this idea, but this bobby pillow is like the perfect height to rest my elbows on, and it's just very comfy. So I'm glad to have it. Can you guys even see what I'm crocheting? If I hold it here, you probably can. So let's talk about how I've been feeling lately, because I was trying to figure out what to talk about for this episode. If you haven't noticed, I've been trying to post like one episode a month of this series, but I didn't want to put pressure on myself, so I didn't like flat out say I was gonna be posting an episode a month, but I've done it for the past 2 months, so that's kind of what the plan is to try to post one episode of Crochet and Chat a month. So please give me topic ideas if there's anything you want to hear about, rather than me just doing deep topics or just whatever's on my mind. So lately I've been feeling a little bit sad, honestly, which is not a common emotion for me. I feel like I'm usually more likely to be frustrated before I would be sad usually, but lately I've been feeling a little bit sad. Nothing crazy, but just, I don't know, just in a little bit of a funk. And there's not necessarily a major reason for me to be sad, but there are a bunch of little things going on in my life, and it's all kind of stacking up in a way. And again, it's nothing major. There's just little different stressors and changes and things like that I think are contributing to the way I've been feeling. You might have seen in my last video, I think it's the one posting before this, that I was sick, and I feel like honestly I was sick most of July. I didn't have outward like crazy symptoms of being sick, but I was very exhausted. So whether it was just like a burnout or something like that, I was very exhausted the whole July. After July 4th on, like before July 4th was starting, I started to feel not good, and then after July 4th I just felt I didn't ever recover. Like I never got my energy back. I continued to be exhausted, and then actually got like sick. Ended up with a respiratory infection type thing and was on antibiotics. I'm obviously feeling a lot better now, but I feel like I'm just getting out of it. Like my energy is still recovering in a way, and I don't know. It can be frustrating because I feel exhausted. I think it's burnout, honestly, and it can be frustrating because I'm a person that likes to like get things done. I feel like inherently I am motivated, but when I don't have the energy, it's hard for me to get those things done that I'm like motivated to do, if that makes sense. There's so many things that I want to be doing, and like I want to be putting more energy into this channel, but I feel like I don't have any more energy to give, which is frustrating. It is really frustrating. So there's also been a couple life transitions recently, and I know it's been like a couple months already, but I still feel like I'm adapting to these transitions, and I feel as though these transitions aren't fully in effect yet, which is contributing to my current mental state. Because if you don't already know, my mom moved out at the beginning of the summer. The apartment that I am living in and that I currently am the tenant of, like my name is on the lease, my mom used to live in, and her name was on the lease. She lived here with my younger sister. I moved in here for about a year to help save some money and to help with the transition of living here, because the plan was for me to move in here and then take over the lease so that my sister could live with me. And that is what is currently happening. So my mom has moved away, and my younger sister, who just graduated high school, lives with me. And I don't do well with transitions, and I know this about myself, but definitely living here helped with the transition. Like already being here and then like staying here helped, but it's just a little bit stressful, and I feel like I don't really have a handle on anything going on right now because of the current state of my apartment. There is a factory knot in here. That's annoying. I'll have to fix that. Anyways, that just really distracted me. I hate a factory knot when you're like in the groove of crocheting. What was I saying? Anyways, but because of like my mom living here before, the apartment's kind of like in this weird in-between state where there's other people's furniture in here and other people's belongings in here still. So I feel like I can't make it my own completely right now, and I honestly don't want to spend a ton of money on the apartment because I'm trying to make smart financial decisions right now, and I have a lot of student loan debt that I'm trying to pay down and trying to prepare for monthly payments increasing, because I'm currently on a income driven repayment plan right now for my federal loans because they are just too massive with that on top of my private loans. Sorry if nobody cares about finances, but that is one of the stressors right now in my life, and I know that people have worse loans than I do, but I'm stressed over where I am right now. I know it can get better, but I am stressed over it. I don't know why I didn't stop so I could fix this. But this is me telling you about all the little things I'm stressed about, apparently. I don't mean to be negative. I don't mean to come on here and rant. I just want to fill you guys in on why my crochet room isn't finished and why, I don't know, why I've probably got sick and why I'm exhausted and things like that. And honestly, when the space around me is cluttered and a mess and I feel like I can never get it together, that also makes my brain feel similar. Like it makes my brain feel crowded and a mess and like I can't get it together, and that is how I've felt. And then when I was sick, it just threw a curveball in it, because any control that I did have over like trying to fix my space, I felt like just went out the window because I didn't have the energy to work on the apartment. And oh darn it, and I've been struggling at making my invisible knots lately. I don't know what that's about. I used to be so good at them, but I just feel like I can't get it together. And because like I probably have undiagnosed ADHD, when I have tried to work on an area, like I get overwhelmed and I feel like I haven't finished an area. Like I have worked on the kitchen, I have tried to clear out the living room a little bit. I probably would say that I've kind of finished the downstairs bathroom. I have worked on the upstairs bathroom and not quite finished it, but I worked on that today. And please stay. There we go. Got it. But I don't know, I've just been working on random parts. I started working on this room down here so that it was at least like usable, so like I can use this space, but it's not done and it's not the way I want it. And like, I don't know, my bedroom even, like I haven't made that my own. And there's just a lot of different things that I feel like if I could make it more my own and I could like organize things, then I might feel a little bit better about it. But I've just been struggling because I don't really have enough room. Like, I am grateful to be getting a basically brand new couch for free, and I could shove it in right now, but it doesn't really fit with everybody else's stuff that is everywhere, and my living room has kind of become the catch-all for different things that need to be taken out of the apartment and things like that. So my space is just kind of a mess, and I just kind of have to deal with it, and it is what it is right now. I just kind of figured by like end of July at this point, because it's now like August, that I would be having my apartment be more my own and have it like organized the way I wanted. And I don't know, I just thought I would be kind of in a different spot than where I am right now, I guess. On top of me already stressing about like my finances to begin with, like I've been doing a pretty tight like budget, trying not to spend too much. Yes, once in a while I let myself spend, but I'm pretty strict about my spending, and I'm doing that because I'm trying to pay off my private student loans as aggressively as possible. Yes, I make a better income than most people, but my income is not a lot compared to the amount of loans that I have. My loans were like double what my annual salary is, just about. When I first like, my total loan amount before I started paying any of them off was about double what I make, which is crazy. Anyways, my brain just went down that rabbit hole. What I was going to talk about was, on top of those financial struggles, my car has been making some crazy noises. I don't know if it's a wheel bearing. I don't know if it's something with I don't think it's my power steering. I don't know if it's something with my brakes, but anyways, it's making a noise. The noise has gotten progressively worse, and it's to the point where I'm trying not to drive my car much until it goes to the mechanic, which it goes to the mechanic next week. I'm stressing over that because I have found a ride to work for that day, but I still have to find a ride home from work and figure out how I will get my car from the mechanic. Because I work kind of crazy hours for my job. I usually work like 10 hours. So when I go into work, the mechanic's not open. When I leave work, they're closed. You know what I mean? So it'd have to be like on a half day. It's just a whole nother thing that my brain's trying to figure out on top of everything. My brain goes everywhere. It's going everywhere. And I'm trying to, you think that this crocheting could keep me like, it's keeping one part of my brain distracted, but it's still going a million miles an hour. I just feel as though it's one thing after another right now, and I just want to chill out. I just want things to calm down. My wrist is cracking like crazy. I hope that's not annoying you guys. The other part that I know is contributing to my sad feeling and just being exhausted is my lack of work-life balance. I still continue to struggle with this. I get frustrated because I get home from work and I just feel like there's no time to do anything else. And sometimes there legitimately is not time for me to do other things, because I bring some work home. If I don't finish my notes at work, I bring them home. I usually will take a little break and make some food and maybe shower, so that way I'm like basically ready for bed and I have a little more energy like with the food that I eat, and then I will then I will do my notes. But sometimes I'm doing notes until 9, some days till 10. There was one night last week I think I was doing notes till almost 11, and I know I probably wasn't being 100% productive, but it's because I was upset while doing the notes. So I was like just upset. So I was doing probably more crying than typing my notes. But it's frustrating because I have other things I want to be doing, other things I feel I should be doing, like picking up my space and cooking a better meal for myself rather than eating like a freezer meal or dino nugs. I love dino nugs, but sometimes I need to be having a more nutritious meal than chicken nuggets. And the days that I don't have to bring home notes, I definitely have a way better mood. But sometimes I'm still too exhausted to do anything. And the only thing I usually do have energy for, if I do have energy, is to crochet. So that is one thing that's good that I have been trying to do, is come downstairs and crochet a little bit. I've been mostly focused on those blankets and everything. I've been really trying hard to get them all done, and I'm doing pretty good with them, but I don't always have time. I know I could get them done faster if I didn't have to bring home work, and I know that limits how much I'm able to get done, so that can be a little bit frustrating because I can set these goals of wanting to crochet a certain amount of day or whatnot, but I never know how the work day is gonna go and how that's gonna affect my afternoon. I've been having a hard time with my time management with the time that I do have, and I've kind of decided, I've been struggling a lot to make sure I stay consistent with my content. Like I said, I wish I could put more effort into this, and I want to put more effort into this, and sometimes I'm not 100% proud of the videos that I put out. I wish I could put a little bit more effort into them, or I wish that I could be more intentional about making short form content and things like that. But sometimes I just have the energy and the time to do the bare minimum, and I've been staying consistent on here, making sure I post every Sunday, like once a week, making sure I post. But because of that, I've not been posting on my other channel. I've been focusing on this channel, my Susie Stitches channel, and I have not been posting on my, if you want to call it my main channel. I kind of consider this one my main channel now because I am more consistent on here, and it's the one that I 100% enjoy everything about. My other channel is kind of a catch-all, and I've been kind of filming content for it, but I have not had the time to even start editing any of it. So I'm hoping to post on there at some point, but right now it's just not happening. And as I'm saying this, I need to remind myself that it's okay that I'm not posting on that channel. I don't have the, I don't know what I want to call it, the mental space, or maybe even the time. I don't have the capabilities to be able to post as much as I want to on both channels right now. It's just not possible. But I am doing my best to at least stay consistent on this one, and I'm proud that I've been able to do that, and I want to continue to do that. I would love to get ahead on my videos instead of rushing to get them done. Like usually I at least am filming them the week before, but sometimes I don't start editing them till the Friday before, and I need to get them uploaded like the day before because my internet speed is so bad that it takes half of a day to upload a video. So sometimes it even takes too long, to the point where if I put it up Saturday night, it's not even ready. It wouldn't even be ready in time. So I need to have them ready earlier so that they have time to upload. But it's been a little bit of a struggle lately, and I definitely think my neurodivergence plays a role in this a little bit, because I'm very all or nothing thinking sometimes. Like my brain is very black and white, very all or nothing, so I can have strong reactions to different situations, and also one small change can kind of affect my whole plan, my whole day. Like it's very, I don't know how else to put it besides like all or nothing. If I have a plan to get stuff done after work, and then I end up having notes to bring home or things like that, then it's kind of like, oh, well, my whole night's ruined. And that then snowballs into making doing my notes take longer and me being upset most of the night. So it's just, I know it definitely plays a role and it makes it harder. And the fact that I'm aware of that makes it more frustrating because I'm like, oh, well, it's my brain. Then I start to kind of blame myself for it. And yeah, the work-life balance just never gets easier. And I continue to put a lot of pressure on myself to be productive every day and constantly, and I just know that there's some times where I'm just not in a productive mood, and there's other times that I'm able to be super productive and like hyper focus, but I can't always force that on myself. But I do continue to basically guilt myself if I'm not able to force productivity on myself, or if I'm not in a productive state or mood. I think now would be a good time to maybe stop talking about all of the negative things and see if I can either come up with some solutions or at least talk a little more positively about myself, or talk a little more positively to myself about some of these current struggles and thoughts that I've been having. So kind of starting with the apartment, because I feel like that's maybe where I started here with my stress, or part of it at least. Anyways, that's where I'm starting, is the apartment. I need to just say to myself that it's okay that not everything is figured out right now, that not everything is how I want it to be and where I want it to be, and not everything's going to be organized, put away. Things are going to be a little bit messy, and that's okay. It's temporary, and it will all get done in the end. It's just going to take time, and there's no rush to it. Do I believe what I just said? I don't know, but I think saying it out loud helps a little bit. What's maybe a plan in place to help make the apartment feel a little better? Well, I guess a little win today was that I organized underneath the upstairs bathroom, like under the cabinet. I organized that whole area. There's some things I took out that I need to find places for them to go. I think honestly what would be helpful for me is kind of making a list of each room and what either needs done in them, what things might need bought for them, because I don't really want to just spend a bunch of money at once buying everything. So I've kind of been doing it in little amounts. So for example, I organized the island in my kitchen. It has like a storage inside, and I bought 2 storage racks to put inside. So things like that I've been buying lately, I don't want to buy all at once. I kind of have been spreading it out so it doesn't seem like such of a burden at once. So I think that'd be really helpful for me, and I'm going to write this down right now because I will forget until I go and edit this video that I had this idea that I need to just write down every room, what still needs done in it, and what I may need to buy for it. That way I can kind of go one thing at a time and do that one thing, rather than it just feeling like, oh, this is just one big messy apartment. And part of the things are out of my control, so I need to kind of just let those go for now, which those things are that other people have things they need to get out of here that are not mine, so I can't really do anything about that. I do know that this upcoming weekend some things will be taken out, so that is helpful, and hopefully this upcoming week too, potentially some things will be leaving this apartment, so that'll help free up some space. But I still know there's a lot of work I have to do on my end to get the apartment how I want it to be. So let me take a second. I'm gonna write this idea down because I think it honestly will help me try to calm my brain about the situation. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time and make you sit through me making a list, but I'm going to make myself a reminder that I need to make this list, because I will forget, like I said. I wish that I had some chapstick down here because my lips are very dry, but I don't have any, and the closest chapstick is all the way upstairs in my room, and I'm not walking all the way up there. I just thought that you guys should know that I'm suffering with chapped lips right now, and Hopefully it's not too noticeable visually. I don't even know where this round ends. I feel like it should be coming up. Oh, it is. I'm getting close to the end of this round, and after that is just doing the finishing border. But sometimes the finishing border takes literally an hour in itself because it's just slip stitches all around. But it makes it look so much better than without the slip stitches, so it's so worth it. I need to think of some other, what were some of the other things that I talked about today? Maybe I can help make myself feel better about them. I kind of feel better about the apartment, and I think I'll feel even more better. That's not how you say that. I'll feel even better once I make that list of like what needs done in every room and things like that. What else did I stress over? What else am I stressing over? I guess the whole like finances. I have a game plan. It's a long journey to paying down debt. It's not a quick fix at all. It's a long journey, and I think that makes it hard because it's hard to see like the end of it. It feels very heavy. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say it feels like I'm drowning, but it just feels very overwhelming. I know that it's possible to get to pay off and to get out of, but it's a lot. And I've already made very good progress. I've paid off one private loan. I only have one more private loan left, but I do have a lot of federal loans because I did go to 3 years of undergrad and 3 years of grad school. So I have student loans. But I'm setting kind of oh my gosh, I can't speak. I'm setting kind of a unrealistic goal for myself of trying to pay off this private loan before or by the time my boyfriend graduates from grad school, which is May of next year. It's almost impossible, but I think it's better for me to set the goal like more ahead of time, because then I know like I'll be at least close to it by then, and I know I could probably pay it off at least by my 26th birthday, as long as nothing very intense changes with my financial situation. I know that it's possible. Yeah, that's definitely a stressor, and I don't think I can necessarily come up with a plan or anything right now that's going to make me feel better about it, but I do know that I have a rough plan of paying it off, and the numbers are difficult, but if I at least get close to it, that will be helpful. I guess one win is that this month is a 3 paycheck month, or when I'm filming this. So July was a 3 paycheck month for me, and I am putting a substantial amount of my 3rd paycheck to my loan, and I've already put $600 to it so far this month. So I'll be contributing a total of $2,000 extra to my loan on top of the minimum monthly payment this month. So that is pretty insane. I did go a little bit crazy and do almost a no spend month this month, trying to spend as minimal amount of money as possible so I could put maximum amount to this student loan, and I know that's going to give me a good boost in my plan to paying it off by May of 2026. So I guess that's one win, but it still feels really stressful, and I think it'll continue to feel stressful, but it does feel good to watch the number decrease. At least that overall number is getting smaller, and that does help a little bit. I check in like at least monthly, honestly, like sometimes a couple times a month if I do make a payment, just to kind of see how the number is decreasing, because it feels good when I see that number getting closer to 0. And in regards to the car situation, I am grateful that I have savings set aside. I have an emergency savings if I really needed to pull from that, but I also have a savings that I've been putting aside. It's for a new car, but I have pulled out of it in the past for like maintenance, inspection, things like that. So I can pull out of it if needed to pay for whatever repairs are going to need done for my car next week when it goes in. So I know I have the money to do it. It's just a little bit upsetting because it puts me back a little bit from my goal of saving up for a new car, but it's okay. It's better than not having the money and having to go into debt to repair my car. That is one positive. I have a knot in here. What's going on? Okay. I feel like the other thing that I talked about was like work-life balance that I am feeling a little bit sad about, and I really, again, don't have any current things to say to make me feel better or any solutions right now. I feel like I am trying my best at this point to make work better for me and to try not to let it affect my life so much, but I don't really know what else there is to do right now or to say right now besides just making sure I continue to give myself grace and not be super hard on myself and not like take it personally, I guess. I'm pretty quick to lose confidence or blame myself for things that are completely out of my control, or to be hard on myself for not being able to, I don't want to say perform as well because I don't necessarily think I'm performing poorly, but I'm regulating poorly, I guess, at work. So I guess I'm hard on myself in that sense of not being able to do things exactly how a typical person would be able to, and not be able to handle things as smoothly or as well as a neurotypical person. So yeah, I've done a few things for myself to make things easier at work, such as doing kind of like a paper note system, because it's kind of a lot to try to flip through different patients on our electronic system. It takes a long time for it to load, and it's easy to get kind of lost in the note. So I have a paper system where I have my patients, basically their flow sheets, and I can make adjustments on it, and I check in every single like exercise or treatment that we do, like as we're doing them. So it helps me keep track of what we've done and what we haven't done, and like I can look back easily to see when we've changed things, when we've progressed things. And I take time before work to prep a little bit. I don't do this every day. When I was first starting this system, I was kind of doing it every day because I was still getting the hang of it, and I would sit down the night before and look through all of my patients for the next day, make sure that their flow sheets were updated, come up with any ideas of things I wanted to progress or try with them, and I kind of use like a sticky note to put any ideas on there. I have slowed down a little bit with this. I'm trying not to spend as much time. I do think I could sit here and feel guilty and say that I'm not putting in enough effort then, since I'm not spending at least an hour a night doing this anymore. But I think it might have been a little bit too much, and it's not to say that now what I'm doing isn't enough, but I think what that was too much. And I do still spend time outside of work, sometimes prepping. If I have patients that I'm either like struggling to progress certain specific things with, I might spend time out of work brainstorming, looking up maybe some research, things like that, trying to come up with different ideas to try with them. I do still spend time doing that, but I've been trying to limit myself with that and not allowing myself to do too much work on the weekends. I've been trying to make sure that if I do work on the weekend, I get it done on Saturday, because I find that if I leave my work for Sunday, that's when I start to get really upset, because the last thing I want to be doing the night before I have to start a work week is work, and I start to get the Sunday scaries. So I've been doing pretty good with that. If I get it done on Saturday, I do notice that I feel a lot better, because I kind of like my Sundays to be like a nice Sunday reset, kind of a mental reset, physical reset, you know, getting everything ready for the week, and then also spending a lot of time like crocheting, doing things for YouTube. That's kind of how I like to spend my Sundays, because I find that all to be very relaxing. And again, I don't want to be working on the night before I have to go back to work. So basically I have a lot of different systems in place to try to help myself, but it still doesn't fill in the different gaps and things that, I don't know, I don't really see a solution right now for, because I just don't, I don't know. My nervous system doesn't do well with certain things. So it's going to be more exhausting for me, and it is going to mean that I probably have more work to do outside of work, which it stinks, because that's just like how it is, and that kind of feels like it's just how it's gonna be. And I love what I do for work. I love my job. I love treating people as a physical therapist. Like, I love what I do, but it is pretty tiring for myself. And I do feel like I put a lot of effort in, and I don't think it's possible for me to just not put a lot of effort in, nor do I want to just not put an effort into my job, because I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Like, I need to be treating my patients to the best of my ability. I don't know how people do otherwise. Like, I don't know. We have this responsibility to take care of our patients to the best of our ability and try to help them get back to the best version of themselves that they can. So I will continue to treat my patients to the best of my ability and put the best effort in, even if it means exhausting myself. It's just, I don't know. And again, I love what I do, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else as a job. So I will continue to try to figure out different systems, but I feel like I am already putting in a lot of effort to try to make it a little bit easier on my nervous system. But I do have my bad weeks, and I do think that last week was a bad week for me, and it was kind of just one thing after another, and that stinks when that happens, because I feel like because of my all or nothing thinking, it does kind of ruin, I don't want to say ruin my whole life for the week, but kind of ruin my whole life for the week. Like, I don't get a lot done, and then that means that I feel behind on like my orders for crochet, and I feel behind on my videos for this channel and like editing and things like that, and it makes my whole life feel like it's falling apart just from one aspect of my life. And it is a big aspect of my life. I mean, I know it's 40 hours a week, but it's more than 40 hours a week. Like, my job, like, yes, baseline it's 40 hours, but obviously there's more than 40 hours put into the week. That's how it works with most jobs. But it's a big part of my life, and I don't know, it still feels like it shouldn't affect my whole entire life, my day after life. So I've been thinking about I have been trying to think of ways of how to be more intentional, I struggle to say that word, intentional about my time outside of work, and trying to make sure there is that separation. But I don't even know how to go about that, because if I come home and I have 6 notes to do, or I have 2 notes to do, or I have 12 notes to do, I have to do them. They have to get done. So I don't know, a day where it's just 2 notes doesn't feel maybe as exhausting, but it's still frustrating, and it obviously doesn't have the same exact impact on me as if I came home with 12 notes to do, but it does have a similar effect on me, and they both can ruin my whole mood for the night, which is interesting. And that's just like a reflection that I'm becoming more aware of. But it is frustrating, and like I said, then I kind of work myself up a little bit, which then makes things take even longer, because I'm not as focused, because I'm focused on how I'm feeling. And other times I can try to change my mood around and be like, okay, I know this sucks, but this is just how it is, and I can focus and get them done really quick. And other times I just can't seem to like get through to myself, and all I can focus on is like, okay, this really sucks, this is so frustrating, yeah. And then I just feel like miserable for myself, which saying that out loud makes me feel like gross for some reason, but it just is truly how I feel. So now I just feel like I continue to be negative. Basically, I haven't figured out a solution on how to turn my thoughts around or how to come up with any other solutions for my work-life balance issue. So yeah, I'm sorry if this crochet and chat seems negative. I just wanted to share how I'm feeling, and maybe somebody else relates to this. Maybe somebody else has one struggle in here, one struggle that I've said today that they relate to. Does that make sense? But even if you don't relate to them, I'm sure you have struggles, or maybe even like you can relate to like a bunch of little things that kind of add up and then make you feel overwhelmed, exhausted, sad, whatever emotion that they make you feel. Sometimes it's not just one big thing that's making you feel a certain way. It's a bunch of little things all adding up that lead to one big feeling. Or one big mood or whatever. I think another thing to point out and kind of reflect on is the fact that there's just going to be like different seasons of your life or different times where you might be more energetic or more tired or more happy or more sad, just based on your environment and things going on around you. And it's not necessarily like good and bad, it's just like life kind of ebbs and flows. And right now maybe I'm just in kind of like I don't want to say a lower point in my life, because I have so many good things going on in my life right now, but it kind of feels a little bit chaotic, and that's okay, I guess. I'm questioning that, but I guess I need to tell myself that it's okay, that things are kind of a mess right now. I've been talking for over an hour. I've had to restart the camera twice because it restops after 30 minutes, and I only have like 8 minutes of footage left on this SIM card unless I delete some stuff. So basically my camera's telling me I need to stop talking so much. But anyways, just because I've been a little more sad lately, or haven't been as productive, or had a rough week of work, doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with me necessarily. There's a lot wrong with me. No, I'm just kidding. Doesn't mean that I'm lazy or unproductive or whatever the heck. It's just, I guess, it's just a part of my life right now. It's just a phase that I'm going through, and hopefully next week is better. Hopefully we have an uplifting phase soon. I don't know. I feel like in times like this, it's easy for me to just kind of let my whole life spiral and go out of control. But it's times like this when it's most important to make sure I continue to ground myself and stick to the things that help ground me, which are things like my routines, like my morning routines, which look a little bit different now than they used to, but not necessarily. I would usually spend like an hour in the morning editing videos, but now I kind of come down and I crochet for that time, so I'm still like spending it doing something I like to do. It's just a different task, I guess, than what I was doing before, but I still have that foundational morning routine. I have been kind of slacking on making my bed, which I do think helps a lot, because when I come home to like a made bed, it makes my room look a little bit cleaner, makes me feel better, and I do think that helps a lot. So that's something that I want to be more intentional about getting back into. Want to make sure I'm following my morning routine, maybe get back into making myself a little bit better of a breakfast. That's another thing that is probably contributing to my mood a little bit, is the fact that since I had that respiratory infection, I was on antibiotics. And if you don't already know, I have like we'll call it like a mild gastroparesis, but I had finally gotten to a point where I was kind of doing better, I would say. Like I have been like maintaining weight. I have been able to eat like more foods than I was able to before. I was kind of doing like a really strict diet at first, and then kind of slowly got myself into more foods, and some that were necessarily like bad for me, and yes, maybe it didn't make me feel great, but I could at least like tolerate it, I guess. And after being on this antibiotic, it has caused like a full-blown gastroparesis flare-up, and that has been a struggle because I just want to eat how I want to eat, and my body is just rejecting foods. So I'm back to square one on that. So that's another thing contributing to my moods, because if you don't know this about me, I like to eat. I like food. And I get hangry. I get hangry when I don't eat. So when I'm not able to eat the way I want to, it directly affects my mood, and I'm currently doing things to try to solve this problem right now. I'm currently trying to take a step back and go back more to those gentle foods and take care of my stomach. So I need to start being more intentional. Why do I struggle with that word so much? About what I'm eating in the mornings, what I'm making for myself. Maybe start making myself smoothies again, because that's pretty easy for me to get down in the mornings. So Emily, you need to do better with your morning routine. So routines are definitely one thing that can help me, you know, continuing to do my morning routine, continuing to do my Sunday reset routines. I don't have the best night routine. That is something I'm still kind of working on. But yeah, that's one thing I probably could work on a little bit. You know, another thing to help during this time is crochet. You know, I can come down here and turn off my brain. I can listen to a podcast, watch a video, and just crochet. It keeps my hands busy. It's like a fidget. I say that all the time. It's like a fidget, but you're creating something, which is just so much fun. And it can help distract my brain for a little bit. And it does bring me a lot of joy. Like, I have so much fun with crocheting. I hope I never lose my passion for crochet, because it is just pure joy and happiness. When I talk about crochet, when I get to crochet, when I like have finished products and projects and things that I made that are crochet, it just brings me a lot of joy. That does help me in times like this time right now. And even though my apartment is chaotic right now, I am trying to still enjoy it. The fact that it is like my apartment and it's more my space now. I am trying to enjoy that, and just working on it little by little, making it feel more like my own, helps a lot and helps improve my mood and gets me like excited. Like when I get an area done and I maybe add something to it that's mine or something that I bought, then I feel like, I don't know, I get a little bit of like joy that it's slowly becoming more my own. It's starting to look better, things like that. So the little things like that are helping to improve my mood during this time. I'm probably going to come on next week, and as long as my work week is good, then I'll probably be in a better mood. But it's hard to say how the work week's gonna go. I don't really know. If you're also in a time in your life where you're feeling kind of sad or low energy, or like your life's chaotic or whatever, then just know you're not alone, because that's how I've been feeling lately, and I know it's not going to last forever, so I have to remind myself that, and I'm reminding you that too. It's not going to last forever. There's going to be a positive coming soon, hopefully, for both of us, for all of us, everybody that's watching. If you're struggling right now, hopefully things start to look up for you. And if you are struggling right now, not being productive or whatever, there's so much toxicity with the productive, what am I trying to say? Toxic productivity. My brain is, just know that you're not lazy, you're not anything like that. Try to give yourself grace. Don't be so hard on yourself if you're not maybe getting as much done as you want to get done right now. It's okay. I promise everything's gonna be okay. But anyways, thank you all so much for being here. I really enjoy this little community that we're growing on here. Everybody that does comment, and please leave some comments. I want to hear from you guys. Like, I like when people interact with the videos, and you can literally comment anything that you want. I don't really care. I mean, be nice at least, but comment something. I like replying to your guys' comments, at least reading them if I don't get to replying them, but I always read every single comment. So leave a comment down below, maybe something positive, since I feel like this video was so negative. But if you want to, you can talk about anything you've been struggling with and what you're doing to maybe help counteract the way that you're feeling, or any solutions that you may have for what you're struggling with. But anyways, this is the progress I made on my project today. I am almost done with this like main round here. All I had left to do was this little section right there, and then I have to do the whole slip stitch around. This is looking really good, and this fidget is actually for my therapist. I'm bringing it to her because she has some fidgets in her office, and I've been wanting to crochet her one, and I just haven't really had time. But this has been my kind of break away from all the blankets I've been making. When I want a little break from crocheting the blankets, I've been working on this a little bit, and yeah, I'm excited to bring it into her. She already saw a little sneak peek of it because the last time I was there, I brought it with me to show her my progress so far, but I didn't have it done yet for her, so she knows I'm bringing it in. But I need to finish it up for her for the next time that I see her. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and like I said, comment down below because it helps out my channel when you interact, like and comment and all those things. If you enjoy these series, I have made 2 other episodes that you can check out. I will leave a link to the playlist for it. If I can link it up in the iCard, I will. If not, I'll at least link it maybe in the description for you guys to check out. There's 2 other episodes. The one is about neurodivergence and burnout, and the other one is about how I feel about turning 25, because I just recently turned 25 on July 22nd. But if you do decide to stick around and subscribe, then I'll see you in my next video. Bye!